Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. College Basketball DFS Pre-Lock Live. Pete Cole here by myself, running solo. We're here to talk about tonight's Wednesday with a 7-game slate. So hope you guys, more people join in here. We had a pretty good show last night. It was a tight night last night, though, but most of us catch pretty well. But first of all, your villagechoice.com. Check us out. We pride ourselves in a niche sports, small sports, college sports, but we also have the big sports also. But check us out, villagechoice.com. That's who's sponsoring this. A lot going on tonight. Thursday or NBA 13-game slate. We have a rate up out for that right now. NHL 4-game slate at 7 p.m. What else we got? We had soccer today. We've had some really good soccer scores. We had a couple of guys take down some GVPs yesterday. What else we got? College football Saturday, Army-Navy game. Tomorrow, Thursday night football. I'll have a rate up for that. EL European hoops. We'll have a rate up for that tomorrow. 5-gamer. We've been crushed. Our guys have been crushing that. Check out the winning lineup room in our free Discord. So you'll see we're all about small sports. So tonight, college basketball. It's a 7-game slate. Starts at 7, which is nice for once. It's not that crazy. 6 or 6:30 slate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up probably talking fast so we can get through this. So we have time to make our lineups. But we're going to go through each game really quick. I'm going to try to pinpoint any DFS plays pretty much on DraftKings. If you guys have any FanDuel questions, you can ask them. But mainly when I'm talking numbers and price, I'm talking DraftKings. So we're going to go over each game. Then I'll go over the top DFS plays each position, and then our core, and then we'll get out of here probably like 6:30 or so. All right. So once again, if you guys have questions, ask them in the chat room right here. I try to keep an eye on it. If I don't, one of the admins will try to answer it, or I'll get back to it. If you want to ask it in Discord, ask in our general Discord room. That's for people that are premium or non-premium members. So I'll try to get to all the questions I can. But this is kind of to me, this is one of the first tougher slates of the year where we do have some misprices. I mean, there's definitely a couple misprices, but it's not going to be like a 1v1, 2v2. We have a bunch of values we have to choose from. A bunch of guys like in that 7 to 8K range, like more than one. So we may see a bunch of different lineups out there tonight, which is pretty cool. And it's also going to test which guys know college hoops and DFS and which don't. So I think this is one of the better slates. It's also one of the tougher slates of the year so far. This has been a crazy year. DK's been a mess, but it's gotten better. Pricing's gotten a little bit better. Already get some question thoughts on Hawkins versus Gotch for GPP value upside. I'll get to that, but probably Gotch. But we'll get to that when we get to each position. So let's just start out with the odds for each game. First game we're doing tonight is going to be UConn, West Virginia. So UConn away, West Virginia 2.5-point favorite. Over under 139.5, and that is the third highest implied of the 7 games. And this is where we're going to get some DFS plays from, because the main thing tonight with UConn is we have a bunch of guys out. Tyrese Martin, I just drew a blank. Tyrese Martin and Sanogo are both out. Seems like Tyrese Martin has been out his whole career. Came from Rhode Island, great player, but seems like he gets hurt a lot. So we do have some value coming from this game, coming from UConn. First is RJ Cole. He's 7K. I have him projected about 30 points. I like RJ Cole a lot tonight, and he's one of those plays that's around where we have a bunch of guys around that like 7K range, between like 6 and 7, 7, 8, and RJ Cole's in there. But RJ Cole is definitely a play. I actually wrote him up as one of my top plays with Adam Sanogo out, Tyrese Martin out, coming off back-to-back 40 DK fantasy point games. Also 3 of the last 4 been over 40. He's actually now the main go-to guy. And I think if you're building lineups, one of the decisions may be, do you go to RJ Cole or do you go to Taz Sherman on this same slate? So Cole's out. So if you kind of want to make like a GVP or cash bucket, you would want to put probably Cole on your cash side. Isaiah Whaley, 6'5" on DK. West Virginia is definitely weak on the inside. We know Whaley can take advantage. He's going to get 30-plus minutes here. His rates are going to increase now because, he's going to get more of a Snogo Martin out. He's in play. 2 value plays also now, or actually 3. We got Acock at 3-6. I can see him being in the main lineup. He started last game along with Jordan Hawkins and Andre Jackson. My problem was when I was building lineups, it seemed like I was getting like 4 UConn players. And I don't want that. Maybe 3, but especially if you're doing like optos and if you're like multi-enter and you're running optos, you're going to get a lot of UConn guys. So Acock's in play. Last game he had, I think, like 22 minutes. He's probably out of the 3 between Hawkins and Jackson. Actually, he's probably the less you want because of his foul risk in the minutes. But then you got Jordan Hawkins, who's probably my favorite play tonight for cash at 3-8. He's probably the one I'm going to end up going to. He started the last 2 games. He came off last game, 15 points, 22 minutes. He only played 22 minutes. It was a blowout. So you should see more minutes tonight from Jordan Hawkins. So definitely in play at 3-8. And then the other guy you got is Andre Jackson at 4-2. So all 3 of those guys, Jackson, Hawkins, and Acock, should be starting. They should be seeing like 25 plus. Jackson is going to probably get the most like assists, steals, and all that. Hawkins is probably going to shoot the ball more, and Acock's your big guy. So if you got it, you're probably going to end up with like 2 of these guys on your main lineup, and you got to make a choice. I mean, at least one. And right now I'm leaning Hawkins, but definitely Hawkins, Johnson, and Acock are definitely in play. So I'd probably say 2. You probably want 2 of these 3 guys in your main lineup tonight from UConn. So once again, Jordan Hawkins, Andre Jackson, and Acock. On the West Virginia side, you got Taz Sherman. We all saw, Taz kind of make that turn last year, became a much better player. He plays every minute. It's going to be a close game tonight. Like we said, what's West Virginia's favorite, by 2.5. So he's going to be in there every minute of the game. He's a shooter, 26% usage, 27% shot rate. Definitely his price is playable at 7.5. So you got to make a decision. Do you play him at 7.5 or you run with RJ Cole at 7K? But both those guys could be in your main lineup tonight. Anybody else? I do see somebody's back tonight. Sean McNeil's back tonight. He's expected. So where is he going to fit in all this? Probably a good question. I'm not really on West Virginia anyways. I don't play Huggy Bears guys unless it's like a guy like Taz Sherman. But just know Sean McNeil is back tonight after being out. That just came across. Actually, in Wisconsin, Lauren Bowman, Jacoby Neath, and Marcus Silver are out tonight. That just came across also. So West Virginia, just Taz Sherman. Taz Sherman's definitely a cash play tonight. Going to the next game we have is Indiana, Wisconsin. Looking at some odds right now. Wisconsin's at home. Wisconsin's favored by 5. Over under of 130. That is the bottom of the 7 games of the lowest over under night. Obviously, because Wisconsin's good defense. Slower paced game. But we do have some plays here because mainly we have one of my favorite plays of the slate. Because the kid's just a stud. Johnny Davis, Wisconsin, 7-7, still too cheap for Johnny Davis. To me, Johnny Davis is a core play tonight. He does it all. 24% usage, 24% shot rate, 20% rebound rate, 23. This is all like the last 4 games. He should be probably 8-7, 9K. So we're getting a discount on Johnny Davis. Now he's overall 32% usage, he leads the team in points, leads the team in rebounds. He's been over 30 DK points in every game but one this year. And that one game was a blowout where he had 28 and he won by 40 points. So to me, Johnny Davis is a lock, still at 7-7. The rest of these Wisconsin guys, to me, are more guys like if you're going to if you're running a whole bunch of lineups, you want to get some guys in there, but I'm not messing too much with Wisconsin tonight. If anybody, maybe like a Tyler Wall at 5'3", he gets the minutes. He's got decent usage, but we realize no ceiling. But these guys like Chucky Hepburn, Stephen Kroll, Brad Davison, to me, they're all GDP plays. On the Indiana side, Trace Jackson Davis, that's your second core play. He's still too cheap at 7-8. He should be 9.5, 9.6. One of the best players in the nation right now. Just lock him in, matchup proof. He can get you 50 BK points in any night. Way too cheap at 7.8. So lock Trace Jackson Davison, TJD, and to me, Johnny Davis, both guys from this game tonight in your core. Race Thompson, like him at 6.5. To me, though, I usually use Race Thompson like if I'm going to play a GPP play and I'm going to pivot off of TJD, but Race can definitely get you a double-double in any game he plays. He's actually playing probably the best basketball of his career. I mean, overall, he's got 20% usage rate. It's gone up. He's playing almost 30 minutes, 10 points a game, 9 rebounds. So definitely you can get a double-double from Race Thompson. I'm not going to argue with you if you say you want him in your main lineup, but to me, he's usually like, if I don't use TJD, I'll go to Race Thompson in GPPs, but definitely good play. So actually, I just saw his last 2 games. He's like scored like 5 times his value. So he's in play. I just can't play him with TJD in like a main cash. Just me personally. All right, so what's the next game we have? The next game is Dayton SMU. Looking at Dayton is the dog on the road. SMU is only favored by 3.5, though. That's a good thing about this slate. Everybody is tight. All tight games. There's no big blowout games. The over-under is 138. It is right in the middle. It's like the 4th highest over-under on the slate. Actually, it's gone down to 136. So it's 136. But still, it's like the 4th highest of the slate out of 7 games. So starting out, you got to make a decision on this game. Who do you use? Kendrick Davis. To me, Kendrick Davis, 8.5, is a stud. One of my favorite players in college basketball. He's electric. He's just a monster in minutes usage. 27% usage, 34 minutes a game, 20 points, 5 rebounds. He's actually has better numbers than he did last year. I just look at his numbers where he was just player of the week in the AAC, averaged 19.5, 6.5 assists over his last 2 games. He's on track to do what nobody did last year beside him, where he led his conference in both scoring and assists, plus his rebound rate is up. So Kendrick Davis is an elite play. The problem is he's got that tag now in DFS that he doesn't do well on DFS slates. Any of us have been playing DFS for a while and know that Kendrick Davis has burned us in a lot of slates lately. It seems like the only time he does bad is on DFS, but you can't really read into that shit. But it just seems like it happens. If you had the money, Kendrick Davis is probably the best overall play on the slate at 8.5. He's just a monster. If you're in your cash lineup, you can definitely put him there if you want. I mean, he's probably going to be the highest price at 8.5. Right now, I have him in mind. I'm not sure he's going to end up there, but definitely it can be your main lineup play. Anybody else on this slate that we're looking at from SMU? No. Maybe Emmanuel, Brandon Mel, GPP only. Now on the Dayton side, all GPP plays except Malachi Smith. So Tumani Kamara, ex-Georgia guy, too expensive. I mean, it is a pace-up game. He's going to play 30 minutes, but to me, GPP. Darren Holmes is 7.4. He's only a rebounder, GPP. Now let's get to Malachi Smith at 6.3. Right now, I want to get Smith in my main lineup. It just may be tough with Kendrick Davis, but Smith may be your sneaky play. The kid's a stud. He's pretty much turned this whole Dayton team. He's pretty much changed their offense as the point guard right now. And I was actually reading some stuff on him earlier, and he was talking about his mother. Actually, his mother named him after Malaka. Means my name is from the Bible. It means messenger of God, and that's how Dayton's taking him. He's actually came from the messenger of God, and he's blown a team up right now. He's the whole team, and they started off really rough, and then they went to Orlando, that tournament, and then they turned it on. So Malachi Smith is, to me, great play. Is he a must play in cash? No, but I think he's going to be under-owned tonight. especially where his price is, and no problem putting him in my main lineup tonight. I'm not seeing like huge projections on the guy, but he's going to get there in peripherals, definitely. All right, so on this game, you want Malachi Smith, you want Kendrick Davis, and that's pretty much it for cash games. Next game is Utah and TCU. The Utah is on the road. TCU is 2.5-point favorites at home. Over under of 134. It's the second lowest over under on the slate, but it's pretty tight slate. So looking at players from this slate for DFS purposes for tonight. First of all, okay, the Utah side, Brandon Carlson. I mean, Carlson, what's Carlson? 6'9". It's a good price for Carlson. He's coming off that ankle injury, though. You don't know how many minutes he's going to go, but he's really had a good season so far. He's a top usage guy at 27%. He's playing. His minutes are only around 22 minutes right now. Still scoring, highest scoring 13.5, highest rebounder 5.9. But it worries me because his minutes were shaky, and now that injury, but not a bad price at 6.9. So with that ankle though, I would say GPP. But if he gets 35 minutes, he could actually crush his slate and be one of the top scorers. Then you got Roy Worcester at 5'4". Worcester always gets these great projections. Seems like this year around the slate. I played him with Sunday, and he kind of screwed me up. But he always projects well. So he's in play again at 5'4". I have him at about 23 DK points in play. David Jenkins Jr., only GPP on the Utah side. And then both Gotch. Both Gotch is one of those guys where I'm saying you gotta probably choose two values on the slate. Where you got both Gotch here. He's playing much better. He's doing more. All his rates are up. Good price. But I think he's playing over his head right now. But at 4-1, Gotch is in that little group with the UConn guys, with Jackson, with Hawkins, Aycock, and then Gotch is one of these guys. So he's in play as one of your main cash plays. You need that value, but I'm not saying he's one of them, but you want probably two of those guys. So you put Gotch in your cash grouping, and then when you get down to make your lineups, kind of make a decision whether you want him or not. But definitely in play. I mean, decent price at 4-1. Looking at his rates, where the hell did he go? He's got a 23% usage rate, playing 25 minutes, 13 points. So he's there at 4-1. I just have a weird feeling on him tonight. But he's in play. Next game, Marquette, Kansas State. Kind of a sneaky game, I think. So you got Marquette is on the road. Kansas State's a 1.5-point favorite. This is our highest over-under of the slate of the night, 142.5. So do you want any of these guys in your main lineup? Possibly. I do have one guy who I think may be sneaky. So right now, looking at, let's take the Marquette side first. Justin Lewis at 7.6, I think is going to be a real sneaky play tonight. I don't think Lewis is going to get much ownership. I think people are going to go buy him. I think he's definitely under the radar. I got a gut feeling on him. He's really struggled the last couple of games. So that's what I'm seeing. He may not get a lot of ownership, but still leads the team in minutes, leads the team in usage, 25.5, leads the team in points, rebounds. So I may try to get Justin Lewis in my lineup. That's the problem. You have so many of these guys. I've seen DK went from having all these cheap guys. Now everybody's like in the $7,000 range. He's one of those guys. He's 7.6. I like Justin Lewis tonight. I may have him in my main lineup. Not saying he's a must play, not saying he's a core play, but I like Justin Lewis tonight. And also looking at it, it's the highest scoring game of the night. Marquette's the fifth highest total implied at 70 points. So definitely there's going to be some points out of that game. Daryl Morsell at 7.2. I just don't think he's got a ceiling right now, such as with his prices. But we know that Morsell can get there. To me, GPP play. but definitely I like Morsel. I just don't think there's too many other guys in that same range, like Lewis at 7'6", where you can use. Anybody else? No. Maybe Cam Jones. His usage is going up at 3.7. If you want like a punt play on the Kansas State side, on the Kansas State side, we do want to find out if Nigel Pack is out, which I'm thinking Pack is out. If any of you guys know, throw it in there. Yeah, Jay Kearney says, I love that low ownership on Lewis, and I think it's going to be low also. So if anybody, do you like Smith from Dayton? Yes, like Marcus Smith from Dayton. If anybody knows for sure if Nigel Pack is out, we'd like to know. Because if he is out, Marquise Noel is in play at 7.3. He's going to get high usage if Pack is out. Anybody else on this slate from KSU? Not really. Maybe Mark Smith. If Pack is out, he's going to get more usage. That's pretty much it. So I do like Noel. If I'm making 3 lineups, Noel's probably in my second lineup tonight. If Pack is out. I don't think I have him as doubtful. So Jay Kern saying he's out. So if he's out, I said I like Noel at 7.3. But once again, I'm going to roll guys like Justin Lewis. We'll get the Bean, maybe RJ Cole, all those guys probably over him, but he's definitely in play. Could be your sneaky play here. Our next game, we have our second to last game of the night. We have Michigan State, Minnesota. Michigan State on the road, 7-point dogs on the road, 136 over under. So it's the fifth out of 7 games of over unders at 136. So kind of a middle, but actually Michigan State's got a 71.50 implied. So Michigan State's the third highest implied. I don't know. I'm having problems finding anybody that I would want like in a main lineup type. If anyone, these are all GPP plays to me. Marcus Bingham at 6'3", GPP play. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to get some, he's going to get some block shots, but he's going to play 20 minutes, maybe 24 minutes. Gabe Brown, 3-point shooter, GPP. Malik Hall, same thing. You can boom or bust, 4-3. On the Minnesota side, Willis is 7-1. Another one of these guys in 7K range. He's shooting 22% shot rate, 35% assist rate last 3. But to me, like making 3 laps, he's in one of your 3 laps. Peyton Wilson 7-1. Jamison Battle at 6'8". Same thing. He's only going to shoot 3s, get some rebounds. GPP. Nobody else. Luke Lowe. I've heard people ask about Luke Lowe at 4,800. Played a bunch of minutes last game. I think almost 40. But no, all he does is go up and down the court. So in this game, to me, all GBP plays, possibly if you like Minnesota and you like Minnesota, Peyton Willis, I guess. I mean, he is definitely in pay. Where's Minnesota? Minnesota actually has. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Michigan State. I thought I would read that. Michigan State is favored on the road by 7. Because Minnesota's got the second to last implied score of the night at 64.5. All right, last game of the slate is BYU Utah State. This is coming in at a 141, second highest implied. BYU favored at home by only 6 though. They're actually the second highest favorite beside Michigan State at 7. Good game here, and I find myself wanting maybe some players on my main lineup. We know we have one, Justin Bean, Utah State. He's only 7.4. This price, must play. Put him in your lineup. I mean, Justin Bean right now it should be 9.5. If you want to, if you want to get legit and go real pricing, at only 7.4, he's averaging 47 DK points a game right now. He's got a double in every single game but one this season. He was, he went Utah State. They did a little stint at Colorado, back to Utah State. Justin Bean, lock him in. So he's one of your locks, like him, TJ Davis, and those mispriced guys. Bean, lock him in. Anybody else here? This is where you say, do you want any more guys? Because BYU is the highest favored, the highest implied, 73.50. Utah State's up there also. Anybody else versus Utah State? Not really. All GBP plays because Bean is sucking up all that usage. So on the BYU side, you got Alex Barcelo, again, another guy in a 7.5. He gets you minutes. He's going to get you 40 minutes. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Can definitely be in your main lineup. So I got to make some decisions tonight. Do I want Alex Barcelo in my lineup at 7.5, or do I want some of these other guys we already mentioned? But Barcelo is definitely in play as a main play. Anybody else here? Tajon Lucas, I mean, he's actually playing much better. I guess at 6'7", if you can't get to Barcelo, you can use Lucas and some GBPs. Caleb Lohner, 5'8", decent price, but once again, we have a high implied here at 141. Lohner's in play. And then we got another guy mentioned as a value play, Spencer Johnson at 4-1. Let me see, look at Spencer Johnson's last couple of games. He hasn't started yet, but let me see, come off the bench. The last game he came off the bench was against Missouri State. He played 30 minutes, 6 rebounds, 14 points. Great 6-man. He's actually one of the most I'm seeing he's probably the most reliable scorer beside Barcelo and Tajon Lucas on his BYU team. So Johnson is definitely in play as one of those value plays. I was saying that you want 2 value plays in your main lineup, and Johnson can be one of those guys. Okay, Spencer Johnson for BYU at 4-1, I say? I think 4-1. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Husseini Traore, great freshman, 4K, but he's also boom or bust. He can go off that bench and go boom also. All right, so that was each game. Thanks, Jay Kearney, for saying Pack is out. We figured he was out anyway. He was doubtful, so that does put Marquise Noel in like a top, one of your top lineup categories at 7-3. So DK went by mispricing anybody in the 4s. Now they're got everybody in the 7s. Let me just look at Twitter to see if there's been any news out since we started, and nothing. If you guys play like regular fantasy college, like a Vantrax, Hassan Warder's out for BCU. Kai Tandy's out for Xavier. Eric Williams is questionable for Oregon. Marco Anthony may play tonight for Utah. And Kyle Lofton is out tonight for St. Bonnie. St. Bonaventure may play Saturday. That's just kind of important if you're one of those guys. Okay, so will Gideon George affect Johnson's usage? That's actually not a bad question. Is Jordan? No, I have Gideon George as a game time. Yeah, I would say he probably will. But I'm saying he did practice. So he practiced Tuesday in full. So it's looking like he's gonna be starting tonight. So yeah. So especially if what's George missed? 2 games? 2 games. If I'm like making that decision on what 2 value plays I want tonight, Jackson, Hawkins, Aycock, Gotch, Johnson, yeah, that would probably push Johnson out of those 4 or 5 guys. Yeah. That's a good point. Thank you, Jay Kearney. Chris Duffy, Gotch or Jones? Which Jones? You're talking about Johnson? I have Gotch in those 4 guys, Jackson, Hawkins, Aycock, and Gotch. You probably want 2 in your main lineup. Which Jones are you talking about? You just confused me. Jones is too common of a name. So Chris, get back to me there. Any other questions on the games before we get on? All right, so positions. Start with guard. Pretty much going from my right up. Spencer Jones got both Gotch. I have over Spencer Jones. Yeah, both Gotch. Yeah. Guard tonight. Kendrick Davis, my top guard. Like I said, he can be main lineup. You don't have to go that high if you're afraid of that label he's got now that he doesn't play good on DK nights. Logan Chamberlain has a question: with Minnesota being second to last in rebounding, thoughts on Marble for GPP? Ooh, but you guys had some good questions. What's Marble? 3-7. I had Marble at like 15 minutes. I mean GPP because definitely GPP. I am like at 15 minutes around 14 points. So that's like 3.9 point per dollar. Yeah, you can GBP, and that can get you guys like Kendrick Davis. What about Anthony for Utah? You think he will take away from Gotch? No. But the thing is, I'm starting to dislike. I'm starting to like the UConn guys more than Gotch. My whole problem is how many UConn players you want in your damn main lineup. So is Marco wait, I just said it, right? So I just answered my own question. So Marco Anthony is playing, right? I just said, okay, so yeah, he's a chance to play. So what's his ankle? Yes, okay, so they're saying they want to see how he looks at shoot around. And that, what time is that game? That game is 8:00. Yeah, it may. It definitely may if he plays. He's been out now for like the last 4 games, and he was getting almost 30 minutes. So yeah, if he plays, I just don't think I imagine his first game. Mark Anthony's back. He's not going to see 30, but it is going to eat into a little bit of Gotch time. And so I'm disliking Gotch more and more as the night's going on here. I knew somebody was going to ask that about Quaith. You're saying, do I like him? When I was writing my write up today, I had him on my mind. Kurt Quaith from Marquette. So, and maybe because I may have, and it's the worst thing you could have for DFS. I had that recency bias in my mind because he only had 2 points his last game. But once again, you think about it, it was against Wisconsin. He was really tough in the paint. So he's got a better matchup against Kansas State. And I'm seeing that the last game they gave up 19 points and 7 rebounds to the opposing center. And he's got a bunch of blocks. So no, I don't mind him, but I might say him. No, I'm not between. If you're between Quaith and Acock, go Acock. Then go Acock. Yeah, definitely go Acock. In my opinion. Now I'll quick go on and get you 30 DK points tonight, but definitely Acock. I have right now. I have Acock at like 17 DK points projection, and on Quaith, I have him at 13 points, DK points. So definitely Acock, yeah. Now Quaith, actually, I'm not saying that may not be a sneaky GPP play, but if you're talking cash, like your top 3 lineups, definitely Acock. All right, good question. So getting back to guards, Kendrick Davis could be in your main lineup, definitely. He may be in mine. If not, though, I think Johnny Davis has got to be in your main lineup. I think he's got to be a core play. I like RJ Cole at 7K. I may drop down to Malaki Smith. I like Smith a lot from Dayton. I think he's a dynamic player. Rookie of the week, 2 straight weeks in a row. Definitely changed the whole Dayton team and the point guard. But he's in play. RJ Cole's in play. And then you drop to the value plays. Jordan Hawkins is probably my favorite at 3.8. You probably want 2 because I like guards better than forwards tonight. So you got to choose. Do you want Andre Jackson? Like I said, Spencer Johnson, BYU. I kind of dropped a little bit and both got. I might end up with both Andre Jackson and Jordan Hawkins in my main lineup. But they're your guards. And anybody else is all GBP plays. To me, Barcel's a GBP play. But once again, do you want a piece of that BYU game? If you want a piece of BYU game, then you play Barcelo over like an RJ Cole. Maybe even over Johnny Davis, but I'm playing Johnny Davis. Xavier Johnson, I've just been burned by him so many times, but he's definitely in play GBPs. Taz Sherman, cash or GBP, and that's it for guards. On the forwards, TJD, Trace Jackson Davis, core play, lock him in. Justin Bean, Utah State, core play, lock him in. So you already know my 3 core plays. It's going to be Justin Bean, Jonathan Davis, and Trace Jackson Davis. Other forwards, Justin Lewis. I love Justin Lewis. Justin Lewis may find his way into my main lineup tonight. And since these lineups have been so tight on DK, he may be the way where we can be different than anybody else. Okay. Other forwards who I like, then dropping down to Acock. Starting again with Sanogo out. 10 points last game, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks, way too cheap. Can you go? I'll probably end up Acock, and John Hawkins as my two values. That's where I'll probably end up, I guess. Any other forwards that we talked about? Everybody else is GBP, but GBP to me was Brandon Carlson with his ankle. Jameson Battle can be cash, more GBP. Isaiah Whaley, but you can't play a whole damn lineup of UConn guys. Then we talk about Race Thompson. I know there's people that are playing Race Thompson in cash. A lot of guys talking in Discord that they're playing him. To me, he's a pivot you use when TJD in GVPs, but Race Thompson can definitely be in a cash lineup. I'm not going to argue against him. I just personally am not huge on him, but I know other guys I've talked to love him a lot tonight. Marcus Bingham, GVP. Tyler Wall, GVP. Riley Batten, GVP. And that is it. Any other questions for lineups? So like I said, my core play is we're talking about TJD. We're talking about Jake Bean, Justin Bean. I have Jake Bean in my article for some reason. Johnny Davis. And then you want a couple of these value guys, a value guard, Johnson, Hawkins, Acock, Gotch, Spencer Johnson. FanDuel, if anybody's playing FanDuel tonight, actually, I did make a core up. I have Trace Jackson Davis. I have Barcelo. I have Marcus Bingham. And I think both Gotch is too cheap on FanDuel. So TJD, Barcelo, Bingham, maybe a little Mikey Miles from Kansas State. He's cheap over there too. All right, you guys, any questions? No? All right, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. If you have any questions? We have 20 minutes to lock. We also have hockey at lock tonight too. So, all right, guys, thank you. My next show, we're gonna have a show I think tomorrow night, a Monday Night Football build from Adam, and then see how things go. I'll probably have another one of these shows on Friday, Thursday or Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, Friday. All right, thanks, guys.
तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा 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 तेरी तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी यादों का तेरी याद में निहा तेरी याद